Hi, so in this video we'll talk about liquid penetrant testing LPT system. So LPT is a non-destructive testing method that applies capillary action to find out the defects or surface cracks or discontinuities. So in this video we're not going to talk about the capillary action in details because that is a whole other segment. So for LPT to be applicable, we first need to make sure that the flaw which is present in the specimen, it reaches the surface, right? So there are so many advantages of using LPT, and the first advantage would be it is highly inexpensive. All you need are 3 different types of cans. The first one is the cleaner, the second one is the penetrant, and the third one is the developer. If you have these 3 different types of sprays, you can perform this testing method in anywhere you possibly want. The second advantage of using this method is that it is comparatively easier. You don't need to be highly skilled to use this method. Also, you can use this method to test even large bulky machines or large areas. The fourth advantage of LPT would be it is highly sensitive. It is very sensitive. The sensitivity is about 150 nanometers. Now, if you want to learn about the sensitivity of a testing method, you might want to watch my previous video where I've talked about in details about what sensitivity really means. So now that we're done with the advantages, now let's talk about the process. Okay, so step number 1, you take a specimen, something like this, and you take a cleaner, the first spray, which is a cleaner. You spray the cleaner on the surface, and you use a towel to wipe off the cleaner. So now that the surface is already clean, now the second step would be to apply the penetrant. The penetrant is usually red in color, and if you want to know why it is red in color, then red has the highest wavelength, and it is easily visible to the naked human eye. So once you're done applying the penetrant, now what you need to do is that you just keep the specimen on the table and you just wait for some time. This waiting time is also known as the dwell time. Now, dwell time is highly dependent on the viscosity and the thickness of the penetrant, right? So now that we're done with the step number 2, the step number 3 is, considering that this is a water washable system, what you need to do is you need to take a glass of water and rinse the entire specimen. And now what you need to do is you need to wipe off all of the excess penetrant from the specimen and just wash it clean with the water. This is step number 3. The step number 4 would be applying the developer. Okay, finally, now this is where the real fun begins. Now, if you don't know what developer means, it's basically like it's the powdered form of white chalk. Now, you must have definitely seen a white chalk before, right? So it is basically the powdered form of the chalk. So once you're done with the penetrant and everything, you start applying the dry developer, which is basically powdered chalk, on the surface. Okay. So what this developer helps, what this developer basically does is that it allows the penetrant which is already soaked in the discontinuity to pop outside. It helps the penetrant to reach the surface. So basically what you're going to see is that there's a white surface, and you're going to find the hairline cracks and any sort of like dots or any sort of cracks which is basically red in color, right? So this is the entire process of how LPT is basically performed. Now, before ending the video, it's also very important to know the limitation of this LPT. Now, LPT has one major drawback, and that is it can only be used in non-porous materials. Now if you want to know the details about the porous and the non-porous materials, what it is and the difference between them, then you might also want to watch my previous video where I have discussed in detail. So LPT is only used in non-porous materials like this, like ceramics, glass, metals, and even polished wood, okay, but never on porous materials. For example, sponge. Now if you're taking sponge, for example, now it's really not possible to perform LPT on a sponge. Why? Because since porous materials have, you know, holes or voids present in them, it soaks in all of the penetrant and all of the fluids like sprays or the cleaners, and you're never going to get an accurate reading. So you might have to, you know, you might get a lot of errors while performing the test. So this is the major reason why the porous material cannot be applied in liquid penetrant testing system. So I hope you understood the video, and I will see you in my next video.